When I was in high school, I had two best friends. They were Nick and Dylan. We all played music together, not so much in a band, just in school bands and whatnot. But we wanted to try and do a little just jam session, I guess, nothing serious. So we were up in Dylan's attic and we just learned some cover songs. We brought in our friend Andrew, who's our guitarist right now. So we had 4 people. We wrote one song and we were like, this is pretty cool. So we decided, let's give it a shot. We created a Facebook page for our name. We went with Pathos. So we made an email, Facebook, and Instagram and all the stuff. So it was like official. Then while 3 of us were in college, we met Nick Moeller, who's our lead guitarist now. We met him there at the orientation at Ball State, and we asked him to join the band because he was a really solid guitarist from what we saw on Instagram. So we asked him to come in and learn our stuff so we could do 2 guitar players, and I wouldn't have to play guitar anymore, I could just sing. So we added him, and that led to a 5-member lineup. So we wrote an entire CD with him in the band, and we recorded it, and we put it out. A little bit after that, we separated with our bassist Dylan, and then we added our current bassist, Timothy Rickers, and that's our current lineup we have right now. That's where we're at now. Is we got the 5 of us operating under the name Perceive Persist, and we're currently writing our second CD, our second EP, which will also be under that name. So when we first started our first CD, we listened to more typical like metalcore bands, I guess. Of Mice and Men was a big one, Killswitch Engage, and we kind of listened to those. Took a lot of influence from them.
This is the last time I let you deceive me. If you don't love me, then my demons will miss a beat. Not a beat. I've lost my grip and I've lost my way. Falling, I'm falling from I'm falling away. I've lost my drive and I've lost my spark. Falling, I'm falling from
On this new stuff, the second CD, none of the songs are out for it yet. It's all still being recorded, but for that CD, we really wanted to switch dynamics, switch gears a little bit on some of the songs and make a lot of more melodic, lighter, more technical, I guess, a lot less simple stuff, and more focusing on, complex chords, complex song structures. I listened to bands a lot like Polytheo or Artifacts Parade, were two big bands I got into when we were writing this, and that helps the stuff I was writing become more melodic, I guess. So there is still heavy stuff. There's a couple songs that are way heavier than any of the stuff from the first album, but we've also got a couple songs that are way lighter. So I really wanted to reach a point where none of the songs really sounded the same. Like none of them would get mixed up with each other just because they're so up and down on heaviness and length and style. And I think that's what we achieved on this CD for sure.
A shattered mirror stands between two broken men, straining, reaching for each other. The distance far too long for them to reach across. What more can they do? The faces have been claimed, their hearts now turned to stone. Aimless,
So generally, if we have a show, we'll try and meet beforehand just to get warmed up. We'll try and meet at our practice space, which is at our bassist Tim's house. We'll play through the set, or if we don't have time, we'll at least hit the rough spots of it to just get us warmed up individually and together and make sure we're meshing okay. And after that, we'll usually head straight to the venue. We'll try and get all our stuff loaded up, and then we'll go out and try and eat some food to get prepped.
stretching became a one-way street. And how is he supposed to seek your face when no one wants to help him stop his ways? The faces have been claimed, their hearts now turned to stone. Aimless.
So, if something happens where a band member can't make a show, it really depends on the time frame, I guess. If it's like a week out and they definitely can't make it, we'll call it off, and we hate doing that, but we'll do it if we have to. Or if we can find a replacement, we will. We've had to do that one time for Nick, our drummer. We found a replacement for him one time because it was like a week out, and I had a friend who really knew our stuff. I just had him practice on his own for a few days, and he was able to fill in. But generally, we'll call it off because I prefer to always just play with us. I don't like adding other people to the mix. It's supposed to be our thing. If someone gets sick the day of, or like the day before, that's happened a few times, and honestly, we've usually just played through. We've been troopers about it, but if someone gets really sick the day of, like can't get out of bed, we'll have to call it off, unfortunately, and let the venue or whoever's in charge know. But usually, almost every time that I can think of, if someone's gotten sick, they've still played through it.
Here I stand, the end of the line.
So as we've been a band, definitely for me, and I think I speak for everyone else when I say this, meeting other bands has been one of the best parts about this. It's just a really cool way to meet like-minded people and also kind of expand our taste, because meeting other bands that sound a lot different than us has definitely expanded my taste in music a lot.
Your way, you never can be far. Stay away, just leave the wounds intact. Stay away for good. For good.
So every time we play a show with bands we never played before, we all like to honestly go and meet them, make sure we get to know them a little bit. I try to listen to them before the show as well, just so I have an idea of what they sound like. But I love that whenever we play with new bands, we end up leaving with some new friends that we usually try and keep in touch with. A lot of the times I'll add them to a list. I like to keep a list of all the bands we've met, so we have like a list of contacts, because it's really cool to have friends in the scene that you can either hit up, just, you know, hey, you want to play this show together? Hey, we need help on this show. Or just, hey, do you want to come out and hang at this show together? So right at this very minute, as I mentioned, we're writing, or we've actually written in its entirety, a second CD, and we're currently just booking studio time whenever we can to get that recorded. And I'm super excited about it because, like I said, it's very different, but from the few people I've shown the rough recordings to, they really like what we're doing. They're really impressed. They feel like we've taken it to another level, and I feel like that too, so I'm excited to show everyone. As we're doing that, we're also trying to get a lot more shows that are going to really push us forward, a lot of bigger shows with national acts, and we definitely plan on hitting the road again as soon as we can, you know, when finances and schedules allow. But that's a big thing we're going to be looking at, is pushing our tour history forward, I guess. I just actually started keeping all our shows and tour history on like a spreadsheet type deal, so we're trying to really take it seriously and keep all our shows and whatnot in line so we can try and score some bigger ones in the near future.